Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Episode 10 total.
Boom,
Episode 7 on the list.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, and 3
Yeah.
histories.
Yep. We've done 3 histories. Here we are. By the time this drops, I think we will be well within 4 figures of downloads.
Thank you very much for that, guys.
Thank you.
We're 3 weeks we've been in business. Thank you for the support, guys.
Today is the 22nd day.
Nice.
And that's why I've been saying we are the biggest podcast in Europe, because of the meteoric rise. I don't want to hear anything from anyone. We haven't even done any, other than mucking about on Instagram, which constantly gets me banned now for God knows what reason.
Haters.
Yeah,
haters
I'm going through appeal processes at the minute, motherfuckers. But yeah, we are, I'm going to say, dominating it. Remaining undefeated, son.
Booyah!
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to me. Double pats. The YouTube starting to flourish.
Yeah.
Already in triple-digit views.
Watching our talking heads.
That's what I'm saying. My little girl, before we started the last one, was very confused and just called Ian Daddy, that's you. Gutted for Ian. But yeah, if you want to see 2 bearded bald men with sleeves, what else do you want?
Check it out. And shout out to the one person that legitimately made a comment, because the rest of it just seems to be porn bots that are like...
Was that me, though? I think it was me. I bunged a few comments out. You got to. But yeah, thank you very much. We're 10 in. I think even if no one was listening, we'd still be 10 in.
Hell yeah, we do this anyway without the mic, so may as well put the mic on and play.
Yeah, it's really nice. Going forward, what I want to talk about is that we will be doing a Patreon. And the reason we're going to be doing a Patreon is because we're going to have a crack at other types of... It will still be fight related, but it will also be a little bit... I mean, there's nothing drier really than fitness podcasts, is there?
Yeah.
Like PT podcasts and fitness ones, they are a tough listen. But there are a few things that I would like to have a little chat about, maybe with a couple of people. But you can't really do that because, Ian cancelled me 3 times yesterday, and I had to cancel him twice. Right? I had to smash him immediately on notice with a couple of comments. And, if we're doing that to each other as a joke, I think there's that. But we will also be doing a few days of filming because we want to... We want to help the community, right? To benefit ourselves. So, yes, philanthropic, but also to help us. So we're going to be doing a couple of new services that will be on the highest tier of the Patreon. They will be available on other means. But if you are the highest tier of the Patreon, you'll get everything, as well as the unedited.
Pitch of our cocks out. No.
I mean, we're going to have to get that big lens out for me, mate. We're going to have to turn the heat up to 83 and get the lens out.
Fluffers.
Yeah, fluffers. Yeah. I've got a good one. His name's Ewan. But yeah, we'll be bolting on a couple of extra little bits as we go on, because as we've said before, the second wave is coming. The middle of the end is here. The amount of people that I know that do not go to the gym anymore, they like training outside, which is all good until the weather changes. But even then, there's a few things you can always do that require a set of pads, a little bit of instruction and some gloves. But yeah, we'll be smashing that up probably a month or so. I think we should start that, mainly because I need to get myself in shape a little bit more, because 3 weeks of tattooing back to back means you can't train. And yeah, basically I'm not in camera shape. I am in camera tan though, but not camera shape.
Oh yeah.
So shall we begin, my brother?
Big weekend.
Huge week. I would like to start with the Queens. We will go into cards as cards.
Yep.
But I want to just start with Shannon Courtenay and Rachel Bell was a powerful fight. It was great to watch.
Big fight.
And then we had Cecilia Braekhus. Sure. she lost. She took the first L, but did she? If you watch the highlights by DAZN, that was cut to make it look like she was just at the mercy of a younger, relentless fighter. But if you watch the actual fight, it's a tough decision, that.
It is. It was definitely close. But one thing I've got to say is, man, hats off to both of them, because that was a fucking brilliant fight.
It was.
Mcaskill, though, stepping, like, when you've got someone with that air of invincibility, never been defeated, so many champs come before, like, in the build-up, Braekhus was like, does she have something that the 36 that came before her have? I don't think so. And that's a pretty gagsy way of describing it. But Mcaskill stepped the fuck up, and she didn't give her an inch.
No.
Like, she showed her the respect she deserved before the fight. Yeah. The second the fight was on, she was up in her face. And, I mean, it was a very close fight, but I give her mad respect for that fight because...
She looked like a weight class below as well. She was significantly smaller, right?
Big.
Yeah, she looked like... I tell you what I did like, though, right? Decision went against her. First loss. She's lost all of her belts. You know, if they really want to do her dirty, she's lost all of her leverage.
Took her with a smile.
Big smile, congratulations, went over, gave her a hug. She took it with just such poise and dignity that should be a viral clip of itself. Like, that's how you take it. It was beautiful to see. Like, everyone that watched, well, I think most people that watched it just went, not sure about that. But she took it like a champ.
She really did. And, like, it's one of them ones, you know, boxing has saying you've got to beat the champ. Which is where it could, but like I said, I'm not mad at all with it going either way. Like, super close fight, and like I said,
it felt like a comparative score, right? I think they're so used to seeing a galactic golfing class that when someone, I mean, you know, it's going to be half a dozen and one. You know, she's not underestimating because you don't get to her level by underestimating, but there's always going to be a level where you're like 36-0, 8-2. Yeah, there's levels to the game, right? That for all we know, that is her best night versus her worst night ever. You know, there's so many variables involved. I
it also gets to the point, like Mayweather, like he takes a couple of punches and then people are like, oh, he lost, and it's like, well, you know, that's comparative scoring. You're so used to him not getting hit.
Yeah, judges. I mean, as well, the judges. You know, you would think that she would have a much bigger fan base, even in the cornfield that is Tulsa. But I mean, I've been to Oklahoma. It's literally just cornfields. Nothing there. Simply nothing there. Flat, just fields and fields and fields. I don't think I even saw a house. Anyway,
another tourism board jumping.
Yeah, Travel Oklahoma. Promo code Coffee Cuties. Save 5% off of your trip. That was a fun fight. It was great to watch. She took it like a champ. 100% there'll be a rematch clause. 100% it will probably be in maybe a more hospitable background instead of an empty studio.
Which also, I mean, for Jessica, I do feel like, imagine fulfilling your dream. Like, you are undisputed, you got all the belts, and it's like 3 people clapping. Like, you know, that's the only thing I feel for these people winning at the minute.
It's not like the Ruiz, is it? It's not like when he's become champ and he's got Madison Square Garden going absolutely bananas. You got a couple of people in close that probably put $200 on him and they've just walked away with 24 grand and about to just have a big night. Bless them. Should we do Matchroom Fight Camp 3?
Yep.
Then we'll do UFC.
Ooh.
Then we'll do the others, right? Because the others are worth talking about, but in a very different way. Yep. And you've already started ranting at me about this one, and this is going to be one of the ones where Streetz is probably the one that just relentlessly chats at you instead of me. Before we get into this, for the people that are watching us on YouTube, just so you know, I am in a disposable coffee cup having a quad shot, a Manspresso. I'm just at the stage now. I've got a coffee machine in the kitchen, but I've bought it.
Living that high life, son.
Tens of pounds, aren't we? tens of pounds. Fight camp week 3. Let's start with Shannon and Rachel. First of all, okay, I'm going to start. Okay, I have to start because I've had a lot of coffee and blue tongue. I never, ever, ever root for gingers. Okay, ever.
I did life in general.
In general, I did some research many years ago, and they are descendants of druids. Okay, I don't trust druids. I never have done. If you ever are unsure of someone's natural hair color, obviously you can check the bush. Very hard to do that. But even if they've got the Marmite strip going on or a shaven thatch, what you can do is that you can check their palms, because their palm to finger ratio is way out, and every single ginger's fingers tip at the top. Okay, that's how you know they descend from druids. I never ever want to see a ginger succeed. I thought Rachel Ball fought a great fight. I did think she lost.
Yep.
I didn't think there was much in it, but I definitely thought she lost. And I think that they scored the big knockdown, which was one of the ones where the head went back and the hands come down to the ground. And she didn't really, like, it was a clean
it was.
Hook right into the pit of the chin. And to be fair to her, she done well to hold her composure.
Yep.
I thought Shannon had it by about 2 rounds. I thought that.
Also, can I just say, what the fuck? Like, this is a big fight. Why are we having the ref judging this?
Why is the ref judging this? Yeah, this ain't a white collar.
You know what I mean? It's not just down the recreation center. Like,
yeah,
this is a big card. Like,
you got national coverage. You're in the gazebo. How did this happen? Like, we're.
And they're there too. It's not like they didn't show
they're
up.
Sitting there behind Perspex just in case. What the fuck does that Perspex do?
The Rona.
Yeah, maybe
safe.
Rona. Completely safe.
Yeah.
I thought she edged it with pressure. I thought she edged it with. She was imposing her fight a lot more, and very good head movement. You know, she was. I don't want to say fighting like a pressure fighting dude, but I do want to say she was fighting like a pressure fighting dude, and it was good to watch. Everything she was doing was loading up big straights off to the side, big looping hooks, back off to the side. Everything was, that she's obviously spent a lot of time with Booth, right? She spent a lot of time in that.
Like
exactly.
Kelly in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the side to side. Everything as you're coming off, you're always off the center line. You're always loading up on big leverage shots.
Big hooks, mate. That was like
big hooks.
And fair play to Ball, because that was a great shot she dropped her with. Great fight she did the whole way through.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like even with the knockdown, it's an 8-round fight. I thought she did enough to come back and take it. I thought she edged the rest of it, even at that disadvantage. But it also ties into what we were talking about before. 2 minutes is not not enough time for the women. They need the 3-minute rounds.
They need three minutes. But even from a scoring perspective, so knockdown, you have that 10-8, or up until that point, Courtenay was winning that round. So you could even argue that's a 10-9. Yeah. Bad knockdown, and she got caught rushing in because she cracked Ball herself. She was on the back getting stumbled, right? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. 10-8, yeah? Courtenay, you maybe have 10-8, 10-9 to Ball, 10-8, 10-10 even, because, it was hard to separate in the second round. Then when the fog cleared, for me, it was all Courtenay.
Yeah.
If you gave Rachel 2 rounds of the 8, that makes it a draw. Yeah. Wouldn't have been angry with a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't have
give it to her.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit much. But also very happy for her, because she's still a social worker. Hopefully this changes her life and she becomes one of the Matchroom, queens.
Yeah.
And women's boxing is they've done whoever decided to do this is very, very clever, because they've brought women's boxing back big. There's been more women's boxing in the comeback for boxing than I have ever seen. You know, you're talking about,
and quality fights
and
too.
Exactly, quality. And we got Katie Taylor on Friday. Yeah, that gets its own show. That gets its own episode. But yeah, is it a draw? Was it a slight Courtenay edge out? I think they'll do a rematch.
I also too, just with the momentum behind Courtenay, which we'll get into the flip side of people having fucking momentum behind them. So I'm glad that it wasn't impervious. But yeah, I was genuinely surprised with that decision. Yeah. But hey, you know, like she'll come back, still a great future. You know, it should be more like we discussed before. The O isn't everything. I feel she,
especially in women's boxing.
Yeah, it happens. She'll come back. True champs come back, and the you know, she'll make sure it doesn't happen again. So
yeah, and there's you know, both of them are marketable, right? And I know it sounds, I know it sounds a little bit sexist to say, but it's the same with guys, right? When you have a Canelo looking, you know, suave, handsome, muscular, speaks well, that's a star, right?
Yeah.
When you have someone like Perro Angulo, who looks like a Neanderthal, you can make them a star within reason. You can make them a star in the brawling world. You know, like Margarito, he looked like Jafar, didn't he? Right? But you have to make him now the villain, and you can sell them as that, right?
Margarito definitely needs one, by the way.
Yeah, he does. There's a lot going on with him. But you can market them, and you can market them really well. And it doesn't take very much for people to start really paying attention, especially when the level of fights on just Fight Camp have been at that level.
Quality,
yeah, absolute quality. They're just quality fights. And again, I think you can kind of thank the UFC for that, because the UFC are the ones that have really pushed women's combat sports to the mainstream and put the promotion behind it, put the matchmaking behind it, and develop stars. Why not? You know,
the ripple effect is huge, because the amount of women going into boxing has increased so much in the recent years. It's amazing. So on all fronts, whether they're getting into it for the fitness, whether they're getting into the fighting, it's just it's good to see. Oh, I can do that too. You know, when it's completely foreign, you're like, it'll get the outliers. Like, I mean, you get your Lucia Rikers and things like that back in the day, which, again, she should get one. But now there's so many, and it's really good to see. And they have just brought the fire. Like that's one way. When you get an opportunity to just run with it and just put on banger after banger.
How long before we get Ann Wolf 2.0?
Oh,
how long before that one comes out? Because I mean, like, you know, Holly Holm, UFC superstar, was a pro boxer for a very long time, because there just wasn't women's MMA. But there's gonna be a new Ann Wolf, and when that comes, fucking hold yourself down, because if you're lucky enough to be that lady's other half, you're not fucking her. It's the other way around. You're not doing that, right? She's not going to be playing coy. Conway and Mansouri.
Yes, that was the vacant WBA Intercontinental, wasn't it? Super welter.
Yeah.
Mansouri started well, but I mean, Conway just pulled on. Almost stopped him in the 7th, but got it on decision. Good fight. Conway.
It was nothing. It was exactly what you expected from someone on the left-hand side of the column. You know, I think we should go into Zelfa, right?
Oh.
Maybe stage fright. Epic interview afterwards. Like, you know, when you got Eddie saying, mate, like, you're going to be a star. Like, relax. You've done this. You came back. You did what everything was needed to do. Knockout. Right? Mate. Another one. Hey, referee, what you counting for? What you counting for, guy? Like, the first one, when you get caught with a clean coof hook and the legs stiffen and you go down flat on your back, I was surprised he got up from that one.
Me too, because
right?
that, I mean, credit for just that alone. And he was doing fantastic. Donovan did great. Like, he was
Donovan
hell of a fight.
Yeah, he looked like the amateur standout. He copped him. Couple of big 1-2s. He had him back on the heels. He was doing everything he needed to do. He clearly just didn't have that little bit, that 10% more shocking power to really
he stunned him in the 5th or something. Like, I remember he came through with a beautiful
1-2, and then he caught him with a couple of backhands, didn't he?
Yeah.
Big left hook. Big left hook. That could be the KO of Fight Camp, that one. If not the for sure knockdown of Fight Camp so far. Big
time. Because when he put him out, and that was another banger of a hook. That was just dirty.
Filth. Head of the bill, Felix Cash, who I'm going to anoint as the mayor, not the czar, okay? Because I haven't anointed czar of Shredganistan yet. But if anything, he is a high-ranking member of the inner circle of Shredganistan. Felix Cash, right? He is bodied out, absolutely bodied out. I found myself watching that with my hand in my waistband.
Gently caressing.
Not even gently caressing. I just wanted to feel the pressure like I was a teenager again. You know, when you just got those random boners and you have to just squeeze against something, anything. It made me feel like a teenage boy again. Great performance. Great finish.
Mate, the angles on his shots.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Dirty body work. He was going to the body.
Big straights to the body, which we discussed on the Morales episode. Big straights to the body. The finish, you know, Lomachenko, Larry.
Oh, that scoop the hand out the way.
Scoop, koof, boom. Great finish. Wellborn, you know, he looked like he wanted to be there, but he was outmatched. Completely outmatched. Definitely outbodied. Like,
big time.
Definitely
tough as hell, though, mate. God, he absolutely licks.
Yeah, great performance. He needs to, you know, be going into European and higher now, right?
Yep, big time.
Look at that. Look. Fight Camp, week 3, out. UFC.
Right.
JDS Rosenstrike. I'm going to say this from a fitness and combat professional. Undefeated. One white collar fight. Don't worry about that. Had JDS not had that pedo tash, it's a completely different fight. It slowed him down. It
slowed him down, right?
It slowed him down.
The head wasn't moving quick enough.
Yeah, it completely and utterly just done him. Yeah, the pedo tash will have done him no favors whatsoever. I have no idea why anyone rocks a moustache unless they're going to work on their penny farthing with a little bit of beeswax, where they are a professional like spoon whittler or a worker.
80s porn star.
Yeah, but even then, that's a different era, isn't it? You're talking about now, like, you know, you are a professional, legendary cage fighter that is completely razor shorn. There's no hair on you whatsoever, but you're doing the tash.
That's the one. That's the bit.
It's a big tash.
Even when you do it, you ever like shave your beard off and you leave it as a joke, and even then you're like, oh fuck, let me get rid of this straight away. Like, yeah.
I mean, JDS, piece or no piece? Because I think he's probably got a piece on him.
Piece.
Yeah. I don't think the longest, but decent thickness. I think he's gouged out. I think it's
with
probably
a tash like that, mate. You got to, right? I mean,
yeah, it's probably like a Brazilian Monster energy drink can with an end. I think it's decent. Is he sponsored by? If he's sponsored by Monster, then we know.
That's how it happened.
Rosenstrike just basically like it wasn't. He just kind of just went right. I'm done with this now.
Yeah.
He just upped pressure, just steamed in, and it was a classic like MMA UFC finish, wasn't it? Smush down to the cage, land a few, go a little bit limp,
try and get back up, and then
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly. And his corner was telling him get busy, and it's like that is JDS at the other end. You know, like that punches hurt, but you could tell he was just like, you know what, fuck this. Actually, that is the way
I've had enough
forward.
of this. Yeah.
And we discussed it. It's like JDS has got a lot of miles on the clock. He's been in wars.
Yep.
He's taken a lot of heavy shots.
Yeah.
It just did the business. He tried to get back up. Credit, like he took a good shot, went down. It was still kind of there. Tried to get back up, and then just mushed out. So
it went. Your boy O'Malley.
Oh, them foot troubles came back to haunt him. Like that was, yeah. I mean, that's part of the combat sports. You know what I mean? It's sad that it didn't unfold, but you know that's the thing. But it's just weird how it just gave way.
Yeah.
And then that's the only shame, because you're like, you know, there'll be some that won't give Vera the credit they deserve. There'll some that jump on them. It's unfortunate, you know, anyone who's been in there, you get something like that. And when you're struggling to move around, it plays a part. But as we said, that's part of the game.
That is part of the game. And, you know, Vera looked good.
Oh, looked great. I mean, he was there to do the business. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just, it would have been good had that not come up to just get the decisive thing, but it's decisive anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like it's, you know, he'll be back. There'll be no issue with having him back. You know, there's always that plausible deniability. My foot went, I tried.
But that is a target now. Like, he is going to get foot stomped. They're going to go for leg lock. That's just, it's unfortunate. It came up so clearly. And I like in the commentary, they were saying, oh, he's moving surprisingly well, which I was thinking too. And they were like, he's not. When you put that with how he normally moves around, he's moving, but he's not moving well. He's flying about the place like he's in the fucking Matrix. Big elbow he took though. Jesus Christ! It was a quick stoppage, but let's be real. What's he going to do? He's got 1 foot.
You're protecting the rest of his career at that stage, right? And that's one of the good moves from a ref. He probably needs to maybe move to a bigger camp now, right? He's become a name. Yeah. Can't keep training in the warehouse of the Amazon fucking depot, wherever his mate works. Right? It's a testament that you've put a full cage in the warehouse, but you know, maybe it's
time to step it up.
Yeah, time to go up a level. Maybe have a word with Dana and start being trained at the Performance Institute, which, as we know, is basically, I think what they did with that, I'd love to go there. They just watched Rocky 4 and they went, everything in the Drogo scene.
Do it. Put it in.
Including that machine where he just goes, like, whatever that machine was, just that. Incline sprint machine, roids, you name it, we got it. Main event. Streetz, discuss. We were wrong.
So, yeah, we were wrong, and I'm glad we were wrong in the sense of how it could have gone, where it could have just been like hold and grab it, because that was a tasty fight. It was a good fight. They went in. It really was. And look, you know, DC's career, he's had plenty of those finger pokes.
He hasn't looked like Forrest Whitaker though, is he?
Yeah, normally he's on the giving end, and this time he got it, and he got it bad. And a lot of people like Carmen say, "Hey, look, that's one of the ones you don't want to wish on anyone, because that can end badly." And that was nuts. He was knuckle deep in him.
Yeah, that was bad eye poke. And, you know, I mean, he's got a torn cornea from that, I think was the report. So, bad eye poke. You know, he's got the proper ghost dog going on.
Big time.
Big time. Last King of Scotland forever.
Stunt double. That's his new career, mate. Like, Forrest, make some movies.
I mean, he won the first round, for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, mate, it was competitive all the way
through. 3-2 is what I had. You know, the scores maybe were a little bit unfair. 3-2, he was, you know, every single attempt that Stipe had to take him down, DC just went, no, son, there's levels to this. And every time that they would get in close, which was very clever on Stipe's part, was that the short overhands and short elbows and the damage on the way out of being held.
Yep.
He knew that was
changing up his grips too. Like DC said, he wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Mate, that spinning elbow to the body, I've never seen that. Like, John Jones loved the old spinning elbow from that clinch to the head, but going into the body, lovely.
He was tweeting relentlessly, weren't he, through that?
Yeah. Stipe, mate, never gets enough credit. We got to change that. The man came to fight. It looked fantastic. He came in shape.
Yeah, he did. He looked wicked.
Wasn't fucking bad. Just took it like a boss too. You know, I mean, dude's fighting fires when he's not fighting elite athletes. He's just
you stop now. Stop doing that. They're talking about Ngannou again, which, like, the UFC want Ngannou as champion so badly, don't they? Like, they really, really do. they're waiting for their like ultimate heavyweight champ, the one that takes it to the next level, because heavyweight boxing is in a golden age again. They've never really had that with the heavyweights. The success of the UFC was built on Ronda, GSP, Conor, Chuck, BJ. Like they're never really the heavies. The heavies, they have a little bit of a run. You got
the light heavies is always tasty as hell, but
but they're just, there's just so many of them.
The most eyes on it was when Brock's there. That's
exactly. And what does that say, right? You got Brock and Carwin, these two shaven gorillas, just having it. That's probably, I don't know if that is the biggest heavyweight, or Uberim. Like if they didn't change the drug testing and Uberim was still allowed to be Uberim, got a very different situation, right?
Nothing to do with drugs. It's horse meat. Thank you.
Horse meat. Horse meat. Always horse meat. It's always moody meat, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It gets bad rap.
Yeah.
I want a vegan to get popped and see what their excuse is there.
Yeah. I want TJ to get popped again and say, it's just I've been eating a lot of venison that we've just been dosing it up with EPO though before we have it.
EPO,
yeah, EPO venison, sure. What can you say? DC retires. He moves on. 2-weight world champ. Champ,
man.
Strikeforce champ. Immense talent. Lost 3 times.
The wrestling career even before all that.
Yeah.
He'll have the commentary. He'll have loads of stuff. So, but you could see the competitor. He was pissed that it didn't go his way.
He didn't even linger around for a chat. He went straight out. He was livid. I think he was pissed off that the eye poke didn't get anything for the eye poke, right? It wasn't even seen.
That was proper, like, because God, even when he's like, "You got punched, mate," and you're like, that's the boy who cried wolf, because normally he's on the other end of the finger poke. He's like, "I'm sick." You could tell even the first time he's like, "I'm not doing this shit again, man." So when he got it, he just gave
Goddard.
0 points.
He's a big fucker as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's a big fucker. When they're the same size or a little bit bigger than the heavyweights, you know that they're big fuckers.
Yeah.
Right, UFC done.
Done.
With the picks on the UFC. Lol, Bance, Paddy Power messaged me and went, "Thank you," is what they said. They just said cheers. They said thanks. We're gonna start negotiations for sponsorship of you guys, Betfair and Paddy Power. And what they said is that we made so much money off of your picks because none of them come in whatsoever. Cheers, guys, is what they said. And I was like, no worries. See you next week.
But we nailed the boxing, son.
Bam! Right. Frampton. Let's just rush through that. Frampton looked decent against a guy. Big body shot finish.
Big body shot,
Yeah, vicious 2-piece to the body. Crumbled him. Job done. Conlan, again, got the bit done, but the ref looked like he was just bored and waiting to have the bit done. Like, what do you want? Like, he looked good. He looked as he should do. I don't know if it's sadder having the York Hall completely empty with just crew, or like you do it in the studio, don't you?
Yeah,
that's got to be less ag.
Yeah, man. I suppose you make do at the minute, and you just put it out. But that card was just
Yeah, it's probably a cheaper venue. They've probably got a decent deal on York Hall, right? York Hall can't be that expensive when there's no events that you can have. They're just like $2,000. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tenner.
Should we go to the States cards, because I can feel that you're.
Mate, my blood pressure's rising, just fucking moving in that direction. Yeah, PBC. Should we do the PBC card? Let's do it. All right. So first of all, Volin versus Kaufman. We discussed Kaufman's shoulder injury in the last one. Like O'Malley, injury came back to haunt him. Went for a shot. It just went. You could see it. Essentially, he's a one-arm fighter then, and just, again, ref, that's enough for today. Done. What was it?
Come back in 6 months after some rehab.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened with the Japanese boy, with the white Japanese guy, Nakita Shimano?
Mate, points. I was expecting
what are you doing?
Brutal KO, but Yeah.
Can't be a viral fucking Instagram star and be doing points. None of that. Yeah.
Have a word,
This
mate.
is where I get all of my news from, is Instagram these days.
All right, let's do the main event card because I'll bypass because I'm gonna get fucking hung up on that Romero fight. So Benavidez, he lost his title on the scales. So rocked up. Let's be honest, didn't look in fantastic shape. It definitely hold them Rona pounds.
I think I said to you he could have done with a few sets of push-ups before going on the scales. Like, he had a set
almost a push-up bra, mate. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
he had a set of very deflated post-breastfeeding tits. And strangely sandy big areolas. It's not a good look. It wasn't a good look, right?
Delish.
Yeah,
delish.
You didn't not know that you were going to be shirtless for several tens of minutes during this, but yeah, could have banged out something.
Yeah, but I mean, when it got time into the ring, didn't matter. He fucking did the business. Them uppercuts were landing sweet.
Nice gloves too.
Yeah, big up, Robo. Angulo forced to remain on his stool. Just didn't come out for the 11th. Took 10 rounds of. Benavidez looked good. He looked good in the ring. He'll get it done hopefully next time out. So this first time he's missed weight, so I don't want to come down too hard. But at the same time, he's accepting responsibility. You're a professional. That's your job.
In current circumstances, it's got to be a fucking nightmare, isn't it? To be
100%
during this time.
Yeah, even like stupid things like just getting access to all the food you need and to the training and yeah.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is pick up a Rona case and all of the limited work that you've been doing is now completely put in jeopardy. It's like, I'd like to know how much of a pay cut that they've had, they have to be paid less, right? Because their salary is always going to be a proportion of the gate. There's no gate. There's got to be a proportion of pay-per-view. Is it a liberty to have these on pay-per-view? Maybe you have them behind the ESPN Plus paywall or DAZN or whatever. So there's always that. But, essentially at the moment, the promoters are paying for content to fill the content. And it's good content.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Cannot complain about that. For given the things, you'd think, maybe they're just going to put out some shit, but it's been great.
Come on.
All right.
Come on. Go.
Fucking Rolly Romero. Now, look, hopefully you guys realize you've listened to 10 podcasts out. We're not here to disrespect fighters. We have the utmost respect for fighters.
No.
Toughest job there is. Respect everyone that gets in the ring, cage, wherever it is. But Jesus Christ, the thing that just kills me is these guys are putting their lives on the line. They're going out there. This is their career. What the fuck do you need to do? So Jackson Marinez goes in, fights a hell of a fight. Rolly's got Floyd's backing. He's the guy that just when the politics comes into it, it just pisses me off. And the way that was handled, because look, sometimes you'll get the boxer puncher matchups, Algieri versus Provodnikov.
Yep.
Provodnikov comes out with them huge shots that are landing. Algieri looked like he'd been hit by a truck, came away because he got the more point. And some people might watch that and go, oh, hang on, what happened here?
Fight versus match again, right? One of them wins the fight, the other one wins the match. The match is the thing that you're scored on. The fight is the thing that the ref stops before it goes awfully wrong or your corner comes in to intervene.
Absolutely. Now, this is not what happened on the weekend. When you listen to fucking Romero talk, it's like Marinez was there running and he wasn't there to fight. It's hard to knock someone out of this fight. I was throwing the harder shots. Yeah, you were throwing the harder shots, but they weren't fucking landing. It's not about... And
he was throwing singles. Everything he was doing was single, right? What are you doing? This is not some fucking cab driver.
Exactly. And he was tasty, mate. The way he was countering back with that jab, just to pull back, double jab, have a bit of that. Then the head movement, ring control. He fought a good fight.
He moved like Lara. He moved like Lara. He looks exactly like Lloyd from Young Money. Case of what is it? Dedicated to the X. Big tune.
Tune.
He looks 100% like him, but I don't know how you can have that scored against him when
every fucking
Steve
round
Farhood, Steve Farhood had him 5 rounds ahead. That's the ones watching it. One of them, what did they have it? 110, 118. Like a complete whitewash. And it's like, well, what are you scoring?
What are you watching? Like that, that's what pisses me off. That's like, you've filled out your scorecard before this fight even started, because I don't give a fuck. Like, there is no way you saw him take every single round of that fight. And then you're just like, I feel for these guys, like, this is your shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can upset the guy that's supposed to win, that puts you, that changes your life.
Yeah.
And what are you saying to people? It's like, oh, well, you can do all that and it still won't be enough. It's just, that's not the way it should be.
It's saying that TMT probably took a couple of them judges out for dinner the night before. Yeah. Like, that is what it was. It was just like, let's take him out for dinner. Let's make it a little bit sweet. It's happened to all of us before. The problem, first of all, the level of piss take that it was, when the sanctioning body gets involved, like they have, the WBO have said, oh, we're going to try and enforce a rematch on this one. And it's for a trinket. It's not, it's an intercontinental title. It's not a big title, but it's like, this sullies our name having him as champion when he clearly wasn't the champion. It was like with Charlie Edwards, wasn't it? When he got that dude got disqualified, and then you got Jose just popped up on the match and just went, obviously not. That shows you the level of, and then I don't want to say corruption, because I don't want to go on a big fucking Teddy Atlas-esque rant.
But big up Teddy, because that man be speaking truths.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said, that's a young man's life, right? What is it? A defected Cuban, or his dad was a defective Cuban. You know, he's been born and bred for this. He looks the part. He did
everything he needed to do. Like,
unanimously, like if you sit down with someone and they watch the fight and they're like, the guy who keeps trying to do the Floyd shoulder when there's no one even around, he was doing it just walking around the ring, just like, bruv, what are you doing?
Like
swinging single
like a
shots.
porn star, fucking swinging like, mate, that is not effective. And don't dare say he doesn't deserve a rematch. Fucking da da da. It's like, come on. Just once, I want to see someone own that and just be like, I'm not sure about that decision. I'll give him another chance. That everything about that left a bad taste in my mouth. But the one thing we'll try and do here, like, because historically, what will happen when because let's be real, it's not the first time it's happened. They put him in with some highlight reel knockout that then dominates the news. People have short-term memories. They'll just remember that he's undefeated. They'll see that knockout, and that'll become the talking point. And I mean, I'll be honest, it's not like I was a huge follower of Marinez in the past, but now I definitely will be. And I hope that we can spread that, you know, when things like this happen, keep an eye out for the other guy, because he'll get brushed aside. But you know,
but this is such a big one where there's not really that many other things going on. So this is the perfect, if this is going to happen to him, which you don't want to happen, this is a pretty public one.
Yeah.
Right. And this is a pretty public one with the sanctioning body involved. There's a lot of eyes that are on this. And, you know, he's probably going to be a bigger name for the controversy than he would have been from getting the decision. Because if he got decisioned, what you would do would be like that one dude who took James DeGale, right? You're just it's just some guy. It's not his night. These things happen. They'll probably, I mean, the problem is that Rolly's saying no rematch. Like, I don't want it. What's the point? That's a piss take. Like,
that really is.
Fight. Yeah, but you can't tell me that he goes back to Floyd and Floyd doesn't sit him down and just says, mate, you lost that. Like, you lost that and you're representing me and we can't have that. You got very lucky. You know, I had a couple of those very grey ones, but they're a lot lighter grey in my career than that. That was fucking charcoal, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's probably saying, mate, that cost me a lot of money. That
Exactly. Like, we did everything we could to load it in your favour, and you didn't do it, and then we had to fucking PayPal someone a couple of mil. Yeah, we had to Cash App it. It was bad. It was bad,
and it also too, because like you said, there's a lot of eyes on it, and some of the eyes are new eyes, and then, you know, they might have the head, oh, boxing's bent and all this sort of stuff. They watch the fight and they go, yeah, fucking knew it. You know, like.
Well, I think what you get is that element, but you also get another element where the nuance of what Marinez was doing versus the clubbing, unnecessary, theatrical. Or again, like you said, it's not about being critical of fighters, but we are mega fans.
Yep.
And it's not to the stage where it's like armchair coaching, where you're like, he should have used his jab more, right? Where you got a Papa John's on your belly. It's not that. The long and short of it is that you can be completely and utterly subjective and objective in this situation. He lost that fight. He fought the wrong fight. He got out-slicked, out-boxed, out-fought at the times when he tried to go in on him. He just tied him up, spun him, long, straight shots, off he went. You know, if anything, he was a couple of times he got a little bit rattled.
Yeah.
What do you want? Like, you lost that fight. You can't walk away from that, and you can't not. I mean, I don't know when you're a professional fighter. I mean, there's so much pride involved anyway. You can't have that looming over you.
Yeah. Also, she said, I went back and my corner said I won, and my coach said, "What the fuck are they going to say? Like, what? In the middle of the fight, they're going to say, no, you lost that. You know, later on, you can have that real chat, but be real with yourself. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You let him come out, and you say, I mean, he knew as well. He knew, because the way he came out in that last round, he came out with a fire up his ass, right? He came out big, and he came out swinging, and he really tried to put it on him.
Even in the celebration, you could see that's a relief celebration. That's like a fuck.
That celebration, he walked away, his hands weren't even like he knew. I hope that they do a rematch for Marinez side, really. But if they don't, I hope that someone gets behind him very quickly and capitalizes on this, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can be undefeated except for that. I mean, you know, like Lara's the same. I thought he edged out Canelo. You know, he's had a couple of losses, but they're very close losses. You know,
everyone else is making belts. We'll make a coffee and combat belt. Ship that one out, mate. Well done, Marinez. You didn't get that one, but
we can do the little ones on Undisputed. But yeah, like it's just like, what are you got to do? Like I hope he got paid. He probably didn't get paid very much.
Mate, fucking
bad. Speaking of quite clearly you're het up, you're angry, you're aggravated. Have you or have you not taken your CBD oil today?
Not, see, I need to triple up the dosage when things like this happen. You see, like the normal dosage ain't got to be enough when things like this. We've got the best in the business. We just need to up it.
It's really not. I've been taking a lot of it lately because I've been having some, I don't want to call it conflict, but I've been having some very strange chats with older millennials where, you know, when things aren't their way or you pull them up on something that has gone wrong, instead of being like, my bad, out comes the mental health distress. I'm getting anxiety. Anxiety is actually guilt. And if you have anxiety or guilt, CBD oil, 5 to 7 pumps.
Fix that right up.
Citrus delight, right? We get our CBD from our good friends, xbrain.co.uk. Still blue tonguing big.
I got up early today. Mine's gone, I think.
Yeah, I have to get a little bit more, to be honest, because I'm running out. And when I'm running out, it gets a little bit scratchy, gets a little bit shaky. Yeah.
Hanging out on the street corners. You got some blue, man?
Yeah. The only problem is if you do that in the wrong street corners, you end up with a very different reaction, and you have some Valero training. Yeah. xbrain.co.uk. I'm not going to go into a big read today because don't need to with that big.
You know the score.
You know the score. xbrain.co.uk. Coffee Combat saves 30% off your entire order of Xbrain branded stuff. The CBD oil is excellent, right? It is, like I've said before, it doesn't taste like bong water. It doesn't taste like the back of the 275 bus to Walthamstow. It doesn't have that earthy element that sometimes, you know, when you just walk past someone, you go, earthy. Doesn't have that vibe. I quite like that. And when I first started to say CBD oil, it's a very acquired taste, and you have to leave it in your mouth for a little while. And where my nose is so fucked inside, I don't really taste that much until it becomes a very strong taste, and then I'm gagging. Haven't had a single gag from CBD. My gagging happens elsewhere in Epping Forest. xbrain.co.uk, Coffee Combat saves 30%. Yeah, Roy and Mike apparently are fighting for a belt now.
Undisclosed belt, undisclosed sanctioning body, but a belt.
I want this to be like the senior tour belt. I want it to be beige. I want it to be rubber edged like OAP trainers. I want it to be made of maybe 100% cotton slack material. I want it to be sponsored by Saga.
On a waistband.
Or like, what are the, elasticated. Elasticated at all costs. What, like, do we need a belt?
Like Grandpa Simpson. I got an onion on my belt, put one of them on there.
No one needs a belt. Like, you lot have had enough belts. Do you need the belt for this one? And if you are going to get a belt, is it a ceremonial belt? Where does it end? Should we maybe do a big trophy? Like the Japanese...
And the big check.
Yeah, a 7-foot trophy, a big cardboard check. What do you want? Like, you know why people are doing it, because people, you know, they always link boxing belts, Mike belts, Roy belts. It's another thing. It's the BMF belt, isn't it?
They want to see that name.
Yeah, it's the BMF belt all over again. Like, it means nothing. It probably will look very cool. They 100% will be. It's going to be WBC in it, because they like whipping out. What have they got now? They've got the Cinco de Mayo belt. They've got the ruby belt. They've got the sapphire belt. They've got the emerald belt, the silver, the gold. They've got the diamond belt.
Diamond.
Which we'll get into in a minute. They've got a few of them. How many belts do you need? And they all cost cash for you to win them. That's the best one. It's like giving you a present and charging you for it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Attaching the receipt just not so you can return it. That's how much you owe me.
Yeah. I know someone that once had people round to their flat for nibbles and drinks. And then they sent them a cost of the nibbles and drinks and wanted the money transferred into the account afterwards.
That is I'm doing that every time from now on. It's on entrance.
So sore, isn't it? It is so sore. But yeah, diamond belt. Povetkin and White are fighting for a diamond belt for whatever reason.
I mean,
why?
At least White gets to touch a belt, you know? Like,
well, he's got a silver one, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a silver one, and then
they'll move him up.
Yeah, they'll move him up to a diamond belt, and then by the end of it, he might have a chance at being near the actual belt.
Yeah, 2040, bring it on.
Give or take. I have no idea what the significance of the diamond belt is. I have no idea. I mean, the WBC said they're releasing a belt to mark the occasion, and the occasion is pay-per-view in Eddie's Garden to remain number one contender where you've been for 1,000 days, which is just shy of 3 years. That's a piss take. Like, that's an absolute liberty, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean... I've got it previously, like some of the huge events, you're like, okay, you make a ceremonial belt on top. All right, fine. The need for it, no, like we've got enough belts. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the thing I love with UFC. No, how many belts? One. Weight division, there's one. No alphabet soup, no.
They've started since WME took over. They have started to whip out interim titles and BMF titles for bands.
I mean, the BMF,
at least there's a reason. Right?
Yeah,
At least with the...
And that reason is to get The Rock involved. No,
you have to.
There's too many belts. There's way too many. Another one's not needed. But that being said, it's going to be a great fight. Can't wait to see it. The Povetkin's clothes, gangster as shit. I feel like we need to wear it for our next podcast.
I mean, we have, when we've been talking about the new logo and unified branding, we have spoken that there will be tracksuits involved in that.
It has to be.
I was thinking more along the lines of very pastel-coloured box raw jobs, but Povetkin has done it Russian and
changed the game.
Changed the game with a tartan tracksuit. Like, do you know what the best part is? Is that I want to know, was it him that just said, I'm going to wear this, you can have the same one as me, but you two support staff, you got different ones.
Change the colors.
Yeah. I've got 4 of them on you now, boys. If you were to have a version of the belt, right? WBO, WB, etc., etc. Which one would you have?
WBC.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'd be going
How about
IBF.
yourself?
I like red IBF, and I like the big eagle on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classy belt. WBC, in spite of everything, which we discussed, we are going to do a thing on the belts with its colorful past, but it still somehow manages to have that legitimacy, you know, even with everything that's gone with it. Historically, the people that have held it, it's just,
they've done a very good job in enforcing that they are the premier belt. There's no reason for them to be the premier belt. They're not the first belt. They're not the oldest belt. They're not the most. They're not the most unscrupulous of the belts. But it is a cool belt, and it is green. Speaking of historical episodes, I put a poll on my gram at RobX.
As did I.
Now, I may or may not have swayed you guys with the choice of pictures, because Johnny's picture, yes. Did he look like he just got out of bed? Yes. Did Marvin's have a pink background? Was he glistening like an ebony Adonis? Yes. Did I sway that? Yes. Did Marvin win? I think it was 110-2. It was.
I don't think I even got the 2. Now, I just want to put it out there, you fuckers. You're going to get tappy at some point in time. You've got to enjoy it.
The end. You're going to get tappier. But Marvelous Marvin, as per the people on the polls, is the next one. I am very much so looking forward to just shouting war into the mic.
We need the hats, mate. We need the hats.
It's easily done, that. That's easily done. Other news. Loma Lopez, dusted,
deal.
October 17th on ESPN. Free cable for everyone. That means that chances are someone in the UK, BT Sport or Sky Sport, I think Sky's got a deal with Loma.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll definitely be able to see it.
Yeah, we'll be able to see it by hook or by crook, much like the fights this weekend that someone sent me a link for. Listen, just make it available for everyone, and then it doesn't have to be nicked, does it? What I open up on my laptop is not my problem, right? If you don't want me to see it on my laptop, don't have it available for me to have it on my laptop. Very, very simple. I think that's nigh on about it. Other than, again, thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
Big up, everybody. Really appreciate it. More
touched than when I was a cub, when I was 8 in a forest. That's how touched I feel right now. 85% I was molested as a young man. Anyone that knows me very, very well, when I've told them that, they're like, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's going well. We're enjoying doing it. Going to continue. So fuck all of you lot. Any of you. Again, I don't
stay in your box.
Yeah, I don't accept any negative criticism. We are riding this trolley all the way to the middle, right?
To the wheels fall off.
I am going to relentlessly wear Box Raw t-shirts every single episode, with the exception of the one X-Brain t-shirt that I got about 4 years ago, until we get at least a promo code. At least, right? Maybe a Manscaped deal. Maybe Paddy Power, like what we said, with the exception of, I mean, to be fair, like, if we use it, I'll do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, we joke, but it is shit that we genuinely, like, that's who we're aligning ourselves with. And
if we use it, we'll do it. The
Rival family.
Shout out Rival. We probably have a member of Royal and Boxing Aristocracy coming on very soon that we're dealing with schedules on that one. That will be our first guest. And to be fair, first guests, huge.
Proper fanboying. I'm not going to lie. Like, the thought of that.
I'm a little bit worried. about how much you ask certain questions, weird ones. What do their
I'm just going to be licking the screen.
Yeah. What do their hands feel like? Have you got any pictures of their hands? You're going to look like a geezer on a Filipino website trying to buy pictures of feet, aren't you? Yeah, big. With regards to the podcast, like I said, we are going to be doing a Patreon with the content that we're going to try and put on there will be of value, right? It's going to be a combination of other things that we're looking to do. Like it, don't like it, it's fine. The things we're still going to have a crack at, because you literally just got to throw as much at it as you can. Don't know unless you have a go, right?
That's it. Throw shit at the wall, see what sticks.
Boom. xbrain.co.uk. Mr. Streetz, we will be back to preview. I think we should do this now, actually, right? Obviously not the whole preview, but I do want to talk about this very briefly now, because I don't want it to mark the next episode we do, which will be the preview for the Summit of Fight Camp week 4.
Yep.
Hopefully they continue it. Pay-per-view. $22.95.
Yeah.
Bit much, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be real, yeah. But I also feel like it's, the dealer gives you the sample and it's like, ooh, you like the crack? You like the crack?
Okay, now. You in.
Yeah. Big time. And that's what...
It's a good card, but it's a good card when you have AJ at the top of it. Yeah, it's a good card. Basically, you have a chief second and a chief second support, and the undercard. It's the main event is always going to be good because Dillian comes in hard. I'm not sure about 22 quid to watch it in Eddie's Garden.
Yeah, see, I mean, I honestly speaking, I have a skewed view because the pay-per-views like in the States and stuff, the price,
it's different.
Such a touch, right?
Yeah, we've got a good deal. It's not $99.95 or $109.95 for HD. I am fully aware of that. You only get away with it because you can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is relative, right? So if it's 20 quid here, but it's 100 quid in the States, people are paying $100.
Yeah.
Obviously, I will be paying for it. And obviously, when the cable bill comes in at the end of the month, and my wife is like, why is the cable bill so high this month? And I just look at her and go, why is your mobile phone bill always so high? What do you want? I believe that's deuce, darling. Let's move on. I will be paying for it, obviously, but still, I think that one could have been dusted out as fine. Maybe that one pays for the rest of Fight Camp. Maybe the amount of pay-per-views that they get extends it a little bit further because they're talking about
solid. So
fine.
Oh, mate, I would love that if that continued. And I mean, look, we're getting quality. On its own. Bit of a piss take, but in conclusion, like we've had a great month. Have your cream. Exactly.
Make a little bit off the top. Right. On that note, another one in the books. Another one. Boom. There we are. xbrain.co.uk. Coffee Combat 30%. Streetz is wearing a David Leduc Lithway t-shirt to show you how masculine that motherfucker in. Big. I think we're going to have a little dabble in some merch soon, I think we are dabbling merch. I think we're going to have my bald head and his bald head facing each other like a face-off on a Corona mask. It's going to be huge. Right. The YouTube channel is up. It is Coffee and Combat Cuties. If you search for that, that will pop up. I think there's got to be all 9 videos on there by now, isn't there?
Yep. Soon to be 10.
Streetz himself creates these immense cut together promos of the history, like just immense highlight videos. They are better than the majority of the YouTube videos out there for the fighters. We do put a lot of work into this. Show some respect, show some love, subscribe, rate, review. We still have our competition to give away 2 pairs of RS1 gloves. Yes or yes? Did we realize that you can't really review on Spotify? Yes. What does that mean? That means that the 2 best Apple podcasts reviews, get the
We'll
gloves.
get it.
Yeah. That is very, very quickly. What are we on? The 17th today, 18th. That's 12
18th.
or 13 days away from us having a frank and open discussion as to who gets that. Start adding those reviews. Those gloves are 160 quid a pop. They are pure
And they are
perfection.
sweet.
They are perfection, right? If you want the Velcros over the lace-ups, we'll get you the Velcros over the lace-ups. If you want the gold ones, please make sure that you are worthy of gold gloves, because that's such a statement. If you're going to do the black, blue, or red, respect. Those will be in 14 or 16 ounce. They are rival RS1 sparring gloves. They are majestic. Rate, review, subscribe on Apple iTunes. Just follow us on Spotify, because eventually they're going to raise their game, right?
Yeah.
It's all about
when they send us that check.
Yeah. $5,000 for the year. All right, guys. Speak to you later.
See you later.